So, we're doing a little something special today. We've got for you a a collage of shorter stories opposed to the normal one story per video. We got some smaller ones for you today. So just mu- relax those ears, give them a good massage. Just make sure you're ready for this, and let's get into the story. So the first one up, I like to call it. I don't call it anything. Once again, got to come up with a name on the spot. I think we should call this one Ebola in the Pocket, or something of that sort. All right, Pokebola. Gotta catch it all. Um, so take little sixth grade Davis Judd. All right. I had language arts second period back in sixth grade, and well, probably the second week of school, we were going to the library to check out some books that we would be reading in class. And the teacher, Miss R, is like, "All right, everyone, let's line up." Except she didn't sound like that. She was probably more like, "All right, everyone, let's." I can't do her voice. Let's line up. We're heading off to the library. I told you about this last week. I hope you brought your whatever you need for the library. We're lined up outside of Miss R's class, and I hear a yell in the bathroom. A not quite blood curdling yell, but very close to it. And all of a sudden, this very tall, probably 8th grade boy comes out of the bathroom with a looks like a bundle of strings in his hand, and he's holding it with a paper towel, and he's running down the hallway. He's coming closer to us, and he's yelling, "Ebola! Ebola! Look out! We got Ebola! Ebola!" And just he's coming. Mr. Ruggerio's looking at him like, "What are you doing? Stop right now! Stop! Stop!" And he keeps going. He runs right past her. She gets furious. None of us got to see what he was holding until he finally stopped in front of the office at the front, which is in front of the library where we were heading to, and in his hand, he was holding, right? There were two girls by his side just taking pictures on Snapchat or whatever. In this brown paper towel, he had a girl's thong that he had just got out of the boys' bathroom. And so, as a sixth grader, I was like, why is a guy wearing a thong? Right? In 8th grade, I figured out that it probably wasn't a guy's thong, but, yeah. We brought it to the front office. Miss Ruggerio was, she started, like, seriously busting a lip with this kid, in front of the office, who didn't seem to have a problem with his yelling and screaming about the Ebola. But they were stained. They were not clean. They were something special and not something you would think to find in a middle school boys' bathroom. That was something. Second week of middle school was great. We're gonna move on to our next story. And here we have, right, this is, right, I call this one the Fireman. All right? When I was younger and a very young boy, my father, we had sea-doos for that little lake that we lived on, and he was working on one, he was fixing it, and it blew up while he was working on it, and he caught on fire. And so I believe he ran into the lake, and he got under the water. He stayed under for a while, and he came out, and he went in and he took a cold shower. And he was all scarred up, like all of his skin was burnt and tissued. It was ugly. All right, I don't mean to sound mean, but Dad, you looked ugly. All right, and you looked scary. You looked like Scary Terry from Rick and Morty, but that didn't exist yet. You look spoopy, dude. And I thought, you know, that happened from getting burned, and it's scary looking. When something's scary, it's not good, right? Scary's there for a reason. I'm gonna catch fire if I touch this man. And so I avoided physical contact with my father for like weeks. Because I thought if I touched him, I was going to get burned and I was going to scar like that too. And I thought, like a disease. I thought burnt was a kind of disease. I mean, probably not that. I didn't think that was a name of a disease, but I thought it spread like one. And that, whenever my dad tells me this story, I must have been 4. I must have been 4-ish. And he's like, dude, when you were 4, you wouldn't come near me for weeks. You were on fire. Cracked up the first time I heard that, because I don't remember this, but this is what my dad said. So we got, everyone calls this one liquid in chunks. All right, liquid in chunks, liquid in chunks. My aunt, Memi, who I've not talked about here before, but Miller knows about Memi. Memi and I have we have quite a few experiences together. You might hear about her multiple times. And one of our favorite things to do is go get sushi together. It's like a ritual. Every time I sleep over at her house, we go and get sushi. But one time, she invited some friends along. And it was just one friend. I said friends. It's friends single, not plural. And well, I do love sushi. I eat a lot of sushi. And so that night I must have had probably 4 to 6 rolls of sushi. Like, and rolls, not pieces, rolls, like whole rolls. Just to myself. We ordered 8 for the table. And I ate too much. I was not feeling good in the tummy. I'd been jumping around because I was excited that we had a new guest with our in our sushi eating ritual. And that's always fun when you bring along a friend to something you do often. And I felt something coming up. It just bubbling in the top of my stomach. I was like, Memi, I don't feel so good. She says, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, I think I'm gonna vomit. And she stopped me right there. She put my finger on my mouth. She says, do not say that word in this restaurant. Do not say it. And so I thought for a second. You could see the gears turning in my head. I was trying to word this in a way that was not a gross word for a gross bodily function. And I asked our guest to, like, just straight up looked her in the eyes and said, you know when liquid in chunks comes up out of your stomach and is released from your mouth? I'm about to do that. And they started cracking up. There were people in the restaurant looking over at our table like we were crazy people. And I think it would have been better had I just said, Emmy, I'm gonna vomit. That is the high quality description of puking.
Put it on.